everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is I'm kind of checking in because I'm actually working on editing a couple videos that I did last week, but I wanted to drop this video for the blue full moon. I've really been deep into my shadow work. Like, y'all think I'm joking? I got 1, 2 notebooks. I done ripped pages out. Like, listen, I gotta do what I gotta do. But yeah, I'm really deep into my shadow work, and I'm already seeing big changes inside of myself. And I had a chance to practice those changes this weekend, so it's been a big deal and an eye-opener for me. It's giving me a lot of confidence in knowing that I'm gonna get back to the essence of who I am. I'm gonna get back to the power, the strength that I had, that I lost in the past 10 years of my life. Realizing my own triggers, my unhealthy habits, control issues, hyper and toxic femininity, so many different things that I've been really working on. Like, I'm literally, like, I'm writing them down, and then I'm gonna write down how exactly I'm gonna work through these things, how exactly these things are gonna affect me, how they're gonna affect other people in my life. I want to actually make sure I really think through these things so that it's like I'm living them out, because everybody's inside right now. It's not like I can go outside and do my own little experiment, but thank God I was just about to say clairvoyant. Not there yet. I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient, but I'm not. I don't believe I'm clairvoyant. I have had visions, but I'm more of a seeing in my dream type thing. But I mean, you know, who knows what gifts may develop. But yeah, like, it's really been deep. And me and my best friend, we attempted to do a 3-day water fast, but it didn't quite work out that way. So we just set up rules that work for us, and today's the last day of the fast. I'm breaking my fast with some shrimp corn chowder soup, and it's so good. And I made some crab. Well, I made some red lobster cheddar bay biscuits, and I added crab. I'm gonna put a little teaser for y'all. Maybe y'all can smell it through the video. But yeah, I made that for myself tonight just to end out my fast. I've been craving for a while, so I made it for myself. I made it with love. And I'm just gonna have a night for myself. I just finished meditating. I put my blanket on the ground, and I really sat and got grounded and just talked to God and my ancestors for a moment before I meditated and centered myself and just allow myself to breathe and feel the moment, and feel the shift, and where I've been and where I'm going, and to remind myself that I don't have to be afraid. And it's so funny because when I was in the shower earlier, I was thinking about me, and it's so weird going through an awakening, because you're like, I feel like it happens when you feel like you're a shell of yourself. I don't know, going through an awakening has been, I'm grateful for it, because it's allowing me to change my DNA. It's allowing me to change my DNA. It's allowing me to free myself from a lot of blockages and, chains that have been holding me back, a lot of mess that wasn't even mine to clean up, a lot of trauma that didn't start with me but affected me. And just acknowledging that and being from where I come from, not a lot of people are willing or ready to really be truthful with themselves and actually do the work. And I know that I'm gonna get a healthier life out of it. I know I'm gonna get a happier life out of it. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Well, no, not the first day, the second day of my fast. I talked to my best friend for hours that day. We talked so much that it made us hungry, but but yeah, we talked about so much because the both of us have so many things in common, like the way that we grew up. Our dysfunction was a bit different here and there, but I feel like some of those things affected us in different ways. I think we really balance each other out, and it makes for really good give and take in conversation to where we can kind of compare and contrast in a healthy way, and then kind of get that insight in that that different perspective that can help us grow, and in a safe space, in a place where somebody can be very, very honest, and we're very, very honest with each other. However, we're also the people that are gonna comfort each other, so we're very comfortable and safe. And I'm really thankful because it's a real blessing to have that. But yeah, I want to give you guys some tips on doing your shadow work. Things that I thought about was, what things make me, like, what are my triggers? What things make me angry? What things make me question myself? What things make me uneasy or unhappy or angry? I say angry. I've been angry a lot lately, these past few years, but I realize now it's, I've been angry at a lot of things that are not in my control. I've been angry at a lot of things that are not even mine, like not even my burdens to carry, really. But I mean, really, as an empath, I really feel like you really need to check in with yourself and make sure you're giving as much as you're receiving. That's a really big thing, because we can come into a situation and we can give and give and give, just for the sake of giving, because it's who we are. But we have to remember that while we're giving, the other person is taking, and they're continuing to fill up their cup while your cup is gradually getting lower and lower. So it's like, how much of yourself are you willing to pour out into somebody else's cup before you realize you're dying of thirst because your cup is empty? Like, you really have to think about these things. And I'm always using water analogies. I used a water analogy in my other video, but it makes the most sense to me when I'm thinking about it, like, that's why I'm realizing now, like, the changes that I need to make in the future. Like, you have to make changes to not find yourself back in the same situation. Like, when I realized, like, Facebook and this memories thing is making me realize I have been in a karmic cycle for 10 plus years. And if I continue to do the same thing, I'm going to continue to get the same results. So, I'm really buckling down and forcing myself to do the hard stuff, do the hard work, and everything else will play out as needed. But I really want to make sure that I'm okay, especially before I get into another relationship. Like, I want to make sure I'm okay and I'm where I want to be, so that I can have the relationship that I want to have. And realizing now that I don't have healthy boundaries. I realized now that I didn't even know how to recognize Well, of course, if you don't have healthy boundaries, you wouldn't know what unhealthy boundaries look like, or realize when people um, are when other people have unhealthy boundaries. So I don't know. It's a really big deal. This week has been really intense for me, I should say. Starting with last weekend, it's been very intense. So yeah, I just want to really wish you guys a happy blue full moon. Like, I'm excited about it. I'm gonna light my candle. I'm gonna put my water outside. I'm gonna make me some moon water. I think I'm gonna do a follow-up video with this, because I really want to get into this shadow work stuff, man. Like, oh man, I didn't think I would have so much stuff to write, but when I looked at things that I wrote down when my spirit guides were speaking to me, and I wrote down a bunch of stuff in my notebook, and then I went back and I compared it to my other journal with my shadow work stuff, and I'm like, yo, they've been telling me there must be balance of all things, control issues, like, let me go back, and remain fluid at this time. They said this, and there must be balance. There must be an equal give and take. As much as I want to be right, so does the other person. Like, as much as I can be right, so can the other person. Like, we don't have all the answers. And I think that a part of the reason I've had control issues is because I haven't been able to trust those that were in control. Ooh, Jesus. So, man, that was deep for me. I haven't been able to trust those that were in control of my life. So I think that I'm very anal about people coming into my life, making changes. I'm very anal about anything that you're doing that's gonna affect me. Like, especially if we're in something together, if we in this together, like, no, like, we gotta get it right, because if it's gonna affect me, especially my future that I've been working so hard to make a successful one, like, I'm not gonna have it. But at the same time, I know now that I need to forgive those who lost control, which is, working on a lot of my childhood trauma, and I've been doing that. Forgiving those who lost control, because most of the time people are only doing their very best, the best that they can, and I just come to accept the fact that certain things happened for a reason. Sometimes it's not about you. It's a lot of things that I had to really sit and think about, but it's coming along. It's coming along. Don't tell other people what they should be doing. That's a big issue, because listen, being an empath and feeling other people's emotions, and then constantly being drained, and I think that control issues is a really big thing for empaths, because when people come to you all the time with their issues and their problems, it's hard for you to not tell them what they should be doing. Like, I want you to be better, so that you don't have to keep coming to me with the low vibrations, you know what I'm saying? Or come to me with the pain and suffering, I want people to be better. So it's kind of hard turning it off, I guess. Compliment when people are doing well. I can do that more often. I do it, but I could do it more often. Let yourself off the hook. That goes back to not being able to trust those that were in control. my adult life, like my managers, like, oh man. Worrying comes from control or fear of lack of control, and I really believe that. I don't want to be a worry warrior. And of others, critical of yourself and others. No one wants to be around somebody who's going to continuously criticize them in the way that they do everything. So it's like, what do I do to get past that? Like, it's work, man. It's work. But I'm not gonna make this long. I'll probably make a separate video once I organize my thoughts and get things together. I'll come back and share with you guys.